Hey, YouTube. Well, I get asked this question like a lot. Like, what put me in a truck? Um, why did I decide to go OTR? Um, there's a lot of reasons, but the main reason was, and I'm not religious, okay, but I was forced out. I was pushed out. My whole circumstances pushed me into this direction. Um, I knew like something was changing in my life. I had no, I didn't. I didn't post it. I had did like a video about my life like before trucking, and long story short, I got like real sick, like on a deathbed sick, and I had to pull myself out of that. When your doctor tells you that there's nothing else that they can do for you, yeah, those are words you do not ever want to hear, you know. And from there, a lot of prayer and meditation, researching your own illness, and things like that is actually the foundation for me actually getting out here. And when I refused to leave my home and leave the stressfulness of the work that I was doing at that time, because I got used to it. It's what I knew. I was good at it. I didn't want to learn anything else. I was afraid to be out here by myself. Um, it was all I came up with all kinds of excuses. And the very thing that I was holding on to uh is actually what pushed me out. I had a one troubled teen that I was helping, and she was known to run off a lot. And but when she got into my home, she never wanted to leave. But I was temporary. I was a shelter, so she couldn't stay, and so she would keep running off, and then like submit herself to the police in my neighborhood so that they would bring her to my house, but they wouldn't let her. They kept like sending her somewhere else. So eventually she took it out on me. and she literally destroyed everything I owned. Everything. I owned nothing. By the time she got done, I owned nothing. 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 And I had to pick myself back up. And so when you're put in a position to start back over from scratch, again, long conversations were being had, a lot of meditation, a lot of prayers, a lot of tears, a lot of me just roaming. I was roaming. I roamed for about 4 months. I just roamed. I didn't know where I was going. It was just me, my car. I'd be in this hotel or that hotel or this place or that place. I was just roaming. And then I noticed I'm traveling. I could be in Florida, Texas, Mississippi. I was roaming. I was seriously roaming. And I was like, you got your class A, you're gonna roam, get paid for it. So that's where I ended up on the truck. And a lot of this is cathartic for me. Driving is a way, it's like soothing for me. Even in my old job, it wasn't the driving that was hard for me. It was the different personalities and people that I encountered that was hard. Because I'm an empath, so I'm empathic. So the negative feelings, the anxiety, all of that stuff. It was hard on me, and I didn't realize that at the time. But this is things I learned about myself after I had got sick. So me being like by myself, there's no energy but mine. So that was actually cathartic. A lot of conversations, a lot of things I felt that I was being led to see, um, led situations I was led to be in, and things like that. And that's pretty much what trucking is for me. I'm not making a lot of money or anything yet. It's sort of like I'm being taken care of just enough, just enough, just enough. This is, I don't know. It's sort of like it's weird. Like I don't like driving at night, but then I've learned to love driving at night because that's when I get to see the moon. And then where I stay at, we don't see stars. And sometimes I'm out, and I remember one day my truck had broke down. Right, I was scared. It was in the middle of the night. I was on a country road. I was scared, but it was hot. And I rolled my windows down, and then it forced me to look up. And when I looked up, the sky was so beautiful. Oh my God, that sky was so beautiful. I had never seen that many stars out a day in my life. It was like a blanket, and it was like they were moving like this, and it was crazy. And I said, he wanted me to see this, and so I sat. And later on, my truck started, and I went on back down the road about my business. And it's just little things like that, you know. It's beautiful. I'm learning like different people and situations to deal with. Nothing scares me too much out here. I've even had to sit next door with park. Not, this will be sit park next door to this guy. I ran out of minutes. I had nowhere to go. And I there was a lot of parks at this truck stop in Tennessee, and they said that they were all already sold. So I didn't have anywhere to go, and I'm like, I didn't know what to do. I said, well, I don't have any time. Anytime, there was like a big old construction and a reroute, and it ate up like 3 of my hours. So I really didn't have anywhere to go. And so he told me, he said, you know what? We got this one park in the back. He said, this guy had it, but he left. He said you can take it. So I park over there, I come in. The guy said, you okay with that park? And I didn't know what he was talking about. I was like, yeah, sure, okay. Yeah, I got in there fine. But when I came back out of that TA and I walked over to my car, this dude is sitting in his truck, all the lights on the inside, curtains wide open. He's got the swastika background, and this was like all red with the Confederate flag, and I'm like, well, damn. I'm like, he even had his CB radio with the Confederate flags, and he had like decorated his windows. I had to cut off. It got hot. It got hot. I was like, I don't know. My phone just got hot. I don't know what that was about. Well, I do know what that was about. The phone got hot. So, but anyway, this dude, he was all swastika and Confederate flagged out. I said, no wonder the people next to him left because they said that they had a parking space on both sides. Both people left. I don't know. But he ain't scared me. I just looked at him. I waved. I jumped in my truck, said my prayers, went to sleep. Because, man, nobody does do anything that is not in your destiny to happen. And that's one thing I do know because I've already been on the slab twice. So I know that, can't nothing put you out unless until he says it's your time. So I know that. So that I don't worry about that too much anymore. I went to sleep. I said my prayers, told my kids if I didn't call and if they didn't hear from me in the morning, check on my whereabouts. But other than that, I slept hard. I slept hard, like for real. I thought I was gonna like be up and down, but nah, I wasn't. I was knocked out. I didn't care. But that was that's the weirdest thing that happened to me out here on the road. But I don't know. Right now, I rather enjoy it. It's hard. It's hard work. It takes a lot of attention to details. It takes a lot of you have to definitely be self disciplined out here. You know, you got to be ready. I mean, you have to. It's like you have to really be prepared for anything. That's why I don't really drive fast. I'm never in a hurry. I ain't in a hurry to get nowhere. I take my time. It took me 2 days to get out here. I could have did this 600 miles in a day, but I took 2 days to get here. It gave me 2 days. I took both of the days. What was I going to rush down there for? I sightseed, took my time, stuff like that. Um, that's what's important. I don't want to burn myself out. I don't want to push myself too far. Um, I don't want to make myself stressed out. I don't want to get myself sick or anything like that. So for me, I'm cool. I just take it easy breezy, you know, make some money along the way, mm, tap into my spiritual side. Right before I came in here, I was on the right here, right next to me. I had pulled out my yoga mat and I was out there stretching, doing sit ups, um, working on my arms a little bit and stuff like that, just to keep myself spiritually in tune and physically in tune. Um, because that's what's important. I mean, a lot of people they get caught up in the money, but they're not taking care of the health, and all of that stuff has to go hand in hand while you're out here. So I learned that the hard way because I mean I know better, but I think last month I got into eating a lot of the truck food, and I don't usually do that. But I was eating, the Arby's and the Subways and the Wendy's, Popeyes, stuff I don't usually eat. So I had to go home and detox. I had to. I felt so horrible. I knew I was toxic because I was sleeping a lot. I was always tired. I was sluggish and I was like, I had to go detox. So I went and I got some IV, the IV, where they IV therapy. I did some of those. Um, drunk. I have some herbs. I actually brought it with me on the truck this time, but it's I mix them with like water and apple juice. It's real easy. You can put them in a smoothie, but I didn't feel like trucking you know, uh, the smoothie machine with me. I just left it with something I could just throw in the shaker with a little apple juice and water, and it's something. It makes sure I get all my vitamins and minerals and all of those stuff every day. And so that was cool, but why? That's. I mean, it's not it's that's how I got in the truck, and I really I didn't have no choice. I had no choice. It's like I was coming into this direction if I wanted to or not. You know, and I'm thankful that I'm out here. You know, um, I'm learning a lot about myself. I'm finding my strengths. I'm saying I'm a lot stronger than I originally thought I was. Um, so it's been a positive experience for me so far, except when I have to be out in those load not loading docks, like when you're in those when you have to drop off trailers at night. I ain't like that. Once I had to go somewhere. I was way out in the back, and all I kept thinking about, what if a wolf come out? My mind. I'll be thinking all kinds of stuff. What if a wolf come out? Because I seen one. I saw one at night, and that's what messes me up. Because I like to walk around, and then I say, you better stop walking around. You go somewhere and it says, bears. Watch out for bears, and you're like, bears. I can't get it past that fast enough. And so those are my little things. But I try to always tell myself, if you're one with nature, the nature's one with you. And I learned that because I was put in a position. I was put in a position once where somebody's pit bull had got out on me. I was taking a walk, and the car came around me, and it was like up the road, and they were talking with the owners of the house, and I guess the dog was there, and by the time I walked my little behind back past, the dog shot out, shot out on me. And I'm looking at the dog, I'm looking at the owners, and I'm looking at their face, and it was like horror. And I'm looking at this dog, and he's mean mugging me too. And I was like, oh crap! And all I kept thinking is, you know, wow, this is how it's gonna go. I'm gonna be puppy chow. And so I put my head down. I just, went to the father. I just started talking to him, and the dog ran up to me, sniffed my leg, and licked the back of my calf and ran back. And the owner was like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah." And I was gonna walk some more, and then I heard another dog barking, and I said, "Let's not push this any further." Let's not push this any further. Turned my little black behind, got back in that truck. Mm-mm. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. That blew me. It blew me. But that was the only like time I think I ever like felt when I was just seeing because he just looked like he was just gonna just bite me a whole new one, just like I was done. I was a snack. Shoot, but other than that, that's that. So this is my little story about what put me out here on the trucks. Hope I didn't bore y'all too much. Thank you all for your time and everything, and